na nyora Etorobini Ensoko TV oboroso bomugusi.
Je, unakusudia kuandaa sherehe itakayosalia katika mioyo ya watu kama kumbukumbu daima? J&Java tupo kwa ajili yako. Tunabadili kila tukio la furaha, fahari na ubora usiopimika. Tunatoa huduma mbalimbali kama vile viti vya kila aina, mimbari au meza za kuvutia, hema za kisasa, mapambo ya kuvutia, taa za kila aina, upishi wa vyakula vitamu, vioo vya kisasa, zulia za kila aina, mfumo wa matangazo kwa umma yani PS system, miongoni mwa huduma nyingi kwa bei rafiki. Kwa mengi zaidi, tutembelee katika ofisi zetu zilizopo katika jiji kuu la Nairobi kwenye eneo la maonyesho yani showground, na ukiwa mjini Kisii ni katika eneo la Mwembe kwenye jengo la J&Java lililo karibu na jumba la Isena White House, au unaweza kuwasiliana nasi kupitia nambari 0792071110 au tuandikie barua pepe kupitia anwani sales@jjava.co.ke. J&Java, kila tukio lina hadithi, tuandike pamoja. Onye kubwateri iboryo obosemia gusekero kendi gyonsiguro y'emirobiri yaitu y'Ensoko TV twakeresimi ase namba 0788666663 gose tulikereri uko ry'email ensokotv.ke@gmail.com boigo nabugo tarira service itego tukasamaga hazina towers egoroba ya 5 asumucyo munene o Nairobi. Ensoko TV oboroso w'omugusi kwarusi gutara urugendo rutambe kwenyorera ibintu bicinguru bigutumye stima electronic appliances sungusya electronics nintwe lichiburi yawo nkoni tore electronic appliances chonsi buna ebirobu power extensions electronic water heaters chibasi chibeteri solar panels electronic gas cookers egati ijebinde ntubwata phone accessories naboigo ntulene chibundi chikorosi bintu tokonya ninchubwenyorera spare part chiechinguru Sungusya electronics boigon koros tole chispika chiekerengo kiguru icho chigutumeka asichikanisa nemega tuline sababu yokole talentambe gucha kuligie byombo bunebi totalera somo choke birigo naboiga somo chunyamira gose twakirisi miese namba 0784884484 Sungusya electronics obokoreri bwekerengo keguru angenaye ubugima n'urugendo rubwatamange amaya n'amabe umusakito Linet Nyambane niga ngaririye imena isiko yagusi nagusanga nabayaeteire nabakuyaetera
nchekera na ibole twe undango tebiwa ndabona ibole tukinde buya ngakina kinde buya ekera na chiko ikemia kasta ngachaka modifera po wira samagoro wani kamanya gutokanga na twali roba ona wachagete
aya nime yo muroberio bw'umwenori kira ritukule Jumatano chinsa ibiri chabutuko imeya Ensoko TV oboroso bw'umugusi ine abamenyi bagusimwe rigenetie edukene ya superstores nigo tokorera ryo kwirwa connect kuri guri ko mwakasi kende byose oragori yan Black Friday ebene bintu bistima chindagera ubuagachi igatiye bende okuyirwoko nigo kurako kari tariki 27 cy'umutini yuko minomo ecyumwaka bwiciri bibere n'emerongebere n'isano minyoka bwongo bwenyorere bitaratabulirwa biyere
Abaminto Biamore Oyonken Ouru Omoyene Ouru Superstores Limited Kisii. Karibu nyumbani Abaminto.
Ouru Superstores, karibu nyumbani. Eye ni Ensoko TV, oboroso bw'umugusi.
Mwancho murigereri ne mambiende engia litukerigaria merongo 25 na limu mutinyi 11 mwaka wechilifu ibere merongo 25 chidakika nire ngankianda igure chinsa inye chiabona mambye cha Afrika ya mochero kwera kwa nebona mbiyore kwa bokire byambi yogendera tandonsi ya sore mambye bona so kwerigaria semiremo yago osandonsi ya sora so tengeretegeta sini kia ugia Ensoko TV oboroso bomo gusingo kwariganie mambye bona aso kumurekera ao aliagendera toko korekana akorekanire nali arachiko korekana kurbono na kogenderera imense yetu ya Kenya County ne merongo 45 na ibire chigwodi delfu ye mochimyenye merongo 5 ngo kwariganie mambya bono tsanga sobwamo bwati ya igonsi gwetra century yo mutandao wekerero Facebook Ensoko TV na boyo kura sensemeria ya YouTube Ensoko TV buna basaki baito bayariganire mambya bono ime yo muroberi wa Etorobini gochakera bono goika chinsa isano nemo cha bono mubaso tosanga sobwamo goika omwerio enamba ya mawasiliano ni gere notisano na ibire isano na isano nemo mara gatano omwerio beka isato boigo nambe yeyo naro gutumika so kubatuka ujumbe yago na badaye ntochikoba no mugeni mi studio mambya bona stra chiko kwanira amange ayo bwatikaine no borai ayo bwatikaine no nyino bochori oboke oburachi gokolekana lituko lyankyo na monokura sorgongo rwa gusinto manyete ward area ya nyamaija ensemo enyansiongo na boiga se ward area kerenyo obochori mbole burachi gokolekana asichi ward echiga na boigo asene chinsemo chinde imeyense yeito ya Kenya tuchaka so bwa mogo chakera bona gwikomwe eryo elietariane Ishmael Mogere. Asomo chakane mambya bano mwancho murigereri Daktari Freddy Matiang'i niga mochire serikali asegetambukiro kyogo keya chibesa chiko genta chisukuru egenta rere buna nigo era chiko bumuzigo monene gochase abayiburi gochakera umwaka gocha asiboigo aenekiri buna boroki wakogenda bale eskuru Matiang'i nigo boigo akwanere boigo obotutukana bogenderete gokorekana asensemo yabo chenu imeyensi yetu ya Kenya na mono wetera somuruberio bwo chenu omanyekaine bunasha tiango gereri enkwana ya Daktari Freddy Matiang'i ka okwandira ebintu ebyo bibere.
The challenges we have right now in the education sector, you know them. I am personally outraged. I have to be honest with you that we have reduced capitation to a point where clearly it's not going to be affordable for people to go, for parents to keep their kids in school. That's why I said I've not looked at the statistics, and I'd like to sit down and look at the stats with the experts, especially the civil society actors in the education sector. We may have dropout rates of between 25 and 30% in January. Because you see, first of all, you know, we are African families. We do not have we are not a one-child society. Now, these wonderful people around here, you know, if you have 2 or 3 kids, you're supposed to cough 9,000 per kid, 27,000. Where is that money going to come from? And you are in a depressed economy where you have challenges. Universal health care is what government strive to do. Whether that is going to come through reforms of the National Insurance Fund and the work we are doing in the World Bank in that trajectory, or it's going to come through a method, this sharp system, is a matter that needs to be debated. But clearly the approach the government has taken is not working. So it's time to step back and look at how best can we make that work. Because the objective of UHC is noble and it's good. That's what most governments in the South, including ours in Jubilee, had. But we had adopted a different method. The approach that the current administration has adopted doesn't work. And you see now, this is why you will not hear me in public spending time insulting people and engaging in condemnation. I would rather that we debate this issue. It is not working, and the evidence is abundant. And if it's not working, let us then fix it. Let's work on a way that can fix it and improve the livelihoods of our people. That's what we do. That's what we should do. And when it comes to fixing that problem, sio siasa eti ni huyu ama ni yule mwingine. Wakati mwingine na sisi pia kama wananchi, hata kama viongozi, tuangazie masuala ya watu wetu.
Gotigana nayo yayo kabere mu waziri asensemo ye no mubunge bwensemo ye bunge ya Kiharu Ndindi Nyoro nigamukire nkwana yo murayi bwense William Samuel Ruto bosi bwe bunge eikiaeta asogotakwanira esira yense ya Kenya iyo aerere yakinire gwetania yakinire nabo igo guchigwetani trillion 12 asibo igabolire ababunge kuimukerera iriyo kwene kebuna chibesa chikogenda chiskuru gusira aborokiwa tichiri guchego keigwa omusi eyo agenda tebekira chikubo musigo omonene guchase abaibori guchakira omwaka bw'echilifu 2025.
The other issue, Honorable Speaker, is the performance of the Nairobi Securities Exchange. The truth of the matter, and Honorable Speaker, it is usually said that when you have a lion, you just need to unleash it. You don't need to defend it. It defends itself. And that is how facts are, Honorable Speaker. You release them, they defend themselves. The Nairobi Securities Exchange, just like all the other stock exchanges in the world, they are not measured by market capitalization. They are measured by indices. And there are 2 indices in the NSE, Honorable Speaker. One is called the Nairobi Security or Share Index. The other one is called the 20 Share Index. Honorable Speaker, the highest you have seen, and I say so because in the speech, I saw that the Nairobi Securities Exchange is in its all-time high. Honorable Speaker, that is incorrect. The Nairobi Securities Exchange, even citing the last 5 years, Honorable Speaker, only, or even the last 10 years, its all-time high in the recent past was actually 2017. But the very much all-time high, Honorable Speaker, was actually around 2007. The Nairobi, the NASI, which is the OSHA Index, Honorable Speaker, the all-time high of NASI was actually in 2017, not as it was being given in the speech. And the Honorable Speaker, even the data on construction. If you read the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, the construction sector in Kenya in the 2024 year, Honorable Speaker, it actually contracted by 2%. The consumption of cement was down by 7.9%. Consumption of steel was down at a level where we are doing housing projects. Honorable Speaker, I say so because for us to move forward, we have to be very deliberate and factual on where we are. And that is why, after all is said and done, data always speaks for itself. Because if you compare, Honorable Speaker, Kenya, compare the last 3 regimes for the first 3 years, the regime of President Mwai Kibaki, the regime of President Uhuru Kenyatta, and the current. The first 3 years, President Uhuru Kenyatta took the GDP of Kenya when it was $19 billion. In the first 3 years, it was $26 billion. It was up by over, I think, let me actually quote correctly, Honorable Speaker, it was up 36%. The first 3 years of President Uhuru Kenyatta, it was 21% growth in the GDP. The current situation, Honorable Speaker, the first 3 years, the economy has only grew by around 14%. If you grade using NEC, you times by 2, Kibaki gets 72%, President Uhuru Kenyatta gets 42%, President Kibaki gets 72%, Uhuru Kenyatta 42%, the current one is at 29%. You can use NEC to grade, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the other issue I want to cite is even the regional dominance of Kenya. In the year 2024, Uganda grew by 6%, Tanzania by 6.1%, Honorable Speaker. Rwanda grew by over 8%, Kenya grew by 4.7%. Honorable Speaker, also as I said, facts are like lion, you release them, you don't defend them, they defend themselves. Honorable Speaker, as I come to the conclusion, I thought the President would actually talk about, or the speech would include the issue of debt. Kenya is currently borrowing 3.5 billion shillings every day, unprecedented. And besides that, we are borrowing also illegally in the name of securitization, in the name of Talanta Board and the rest. I thought that is a monumental issue that would have been highlighted. But lastly, Honorable Speaker, also, Honorable Speaker, I thought the speech would include the issue of education. The speech was read in a situation where, Honorable Speaker, our principals have received a circular to increase school fees for day scholars, Honorable Speaker, starting January. And I want to rally the members of this House. We must not sit here when the fees for day secondary school is being increased by government from next year. Honorable Speaker, very lastly, I didn't hear the issue of confirmation of the JSS interns, who are 20,000 in number. Honorable Speaker, these JSS interns, our brothers and sisters, must be confirmed into permanent and pensionable terms immediately without delay. I submit, Honorable Speaker.
Ari nayo chinga kia baseneta bairanirire bikaro byabo ase bunge ya seneta bono nigo baiririri bagaliabo gukwanira iguru yenkwana yo muraibwense ase bunge wiki yaeta moseneta we county ya Nyamira Kongo Mogere ase nkwana yaye nigairire buna muraibwense William Samuel Ruto takwanireti engane yo bokurumi imeyense ase boigo akwanire iguru yo bolimi bwekemeri giechae ekibo igo muraibwense atakwanirete ase obwagale tiango turarigeri naraliaya agendera tukura Ensemeria ye bunge ya senator.
Mr. Speaker, there is no way, and I'm saying this without any fear of contradiction, there is no way we are going to be a first world country unless we fix a few governance issues, Mr. Speaker. And that is the road that many of the countries that have transformed to first world, that is the road they have followed. The first one, Mr. Speaker, is that we must fix our governance. We must fix issues dealing with corruption, stealing of public resources going to people's pockets, Mr. Speaker. That is the route that Singapore followed, Mr. Speaker. But in this country, Mr. Speaker, we have seen people who join the cabinet, they transform to overnight millionaires, but you will never see any action from our anti-corruption bodies, Mr. Speaker. The first thing you do, even if you go to Rwanda, Mr. Speaker, the first action that Kagame took to ensure that the governance works in Rwanda was to fix issues of corruption. And you fight corruption from the top officials of government, because that's where money is stolen. If we don't fix that, we'll never get anywhere. Roads in UK, Mr. Speaker, are developed from the fines that are generated from the traffic offenders. But if we are not making any steps to create cameras on our roads so that if I'm overspeeding, if I'm stopped by a police officer, that money should go to the state. But instead, if you commit an offense on our roads here, that money ends up in people's pockets. There is a rumor, I don't know whether it's true, there is a rumor that there is a chain. That money comes all the way and goes to people in high government offices. So if the president is serious, Mr. Speaker, corruption should have been a central theme in his speech. Corruption should have been a central theme, Mr. Speaker. And the best way to hit corruption is by going after those who are perceived to be very close to you, Mr. Speaker. You don't look for your perceived critics. You go after those who are perceived to be very close to you, because those are the ones who use the name of the president because they are perceived to be close to siphon public resources, Mr. Speaker. If we go that route, then we can have hope that we transform and become a first world. And then we should not lie to the public, Mr. Speaker. I come from a tea-growing region. If our export earnings rose, the way it was said, from 138 billion to 215 billion, where did those earnings go? Where did the earnings go, Mr. Speaker? Because the payment of bonus to our farmers declined drastically. the curve was sharp, a sharp decline in earnings. In Nyamira, the average earning of a tea farmer was between 10 shillings to 12 shillings. Then the question we should be asking, if the export earnings went up, who stole our money? That's what we need to be told. And there is no way, Mr. Speaker, you are going to transform this country to be first world when our farmers are earning peanuts.
Ase haya watkerene chisemi mambia bono mu waziri we chisemi Julius Migosio gamba niga araire uko igurwa bene kwege karo kya gatano ge chisemi kimanyikaine buna International Conference on Safe Schools Declaration SSD asoma bogani o Safari Park aiga somucho Nairobi ugamba senkwane yaye niga tebire buna kera omworokiwa nigaga ni rikonyora chisemi bokongu bonde bwensi botayo asibo iga kwanire iguru yo gusira aborokia nonya amakong au kali aroro.
Of success lies in meaningful implementation. A commitment is only powerful if it translates into protection, and action is only meaningful if it safeguards the future of our children. In Kenya, we are working tirelessly to interpret the principles of the Safe Schools Declaration across our education and security frameworks. We recognize that insecurity disrupts learning, and therefore we are strengthening inter-ministerial coordination to reduce risks to learners, teachers, and the school's infrastructure. We have increasingly adopted approaches that maintain school operations even during periods of localized instability, expanded psychological support in vulnerable regions, and supported teacher preparedness in crisis management. These efforts affirm our belief that learning must never be suspended, even in the face of adversity. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, we are aware that across Africa and the world, too many children walk long distances through areas affected by insecurity. Too many teachers work in hardship conditions, and too many schools remain vulnerable to disruption or attack. These challenges are not merely statistics. They are stories of interrupted dreams. That's why this conference must be action-driven. The discussions held here must focus on strengthening national protection measures, fostering international support, enhancing accountability for violations, and increasing investment in education during crisis. Let us take advantage of this moment to ensure that the next decade of the Safe Schools Declaration transitions from advocacy to implementation and from pledges to measurable outcomes. Let Nairobi be remembered as a place where global commitments evolved into coordinated delivery and where we strengthened our resolve to protect education as a human right and a foundation for peace. Allow me, Your Excellency, at this juncture to express sincere appreciation to our international co-hosts and partners, Norway, Argentina, Spain, Nigeria, the African Union, UNICEF, UNESCO, the Global Coalition to Protect Education from Attack, civil society organizations, and youth champions for their continued leadership and technical support in this area. I also pay tribute to teachers, especially those in hardship areas, whose dedication ensures learning continues despite difficulties, and to learners whose courage inspires us all. Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin this important conference, I'm confident that our deliberations will be constructive, collaborative, and focused on practical solutions. Together, let us reaffirm our responsibility to protect every child's right to safe education. And with that, it is now my singular honor.
Arenayo omrai wense Daktari William Samuel Ruto wetera okuraria kumu waziri wa mang'ana y'echinsi Ches Musalia Mudavadi nigo abachorire Ryan Ijendi gochukurwa bakorari asensemo y'obunchereria ense ya South Africa nabo igo Simon Kangwana gochukurwa bakorari bwaye asensemo y'echisemi imeyense ya Uganda asegeka ekienge nere Leonard Shimaka nigachorirwe buna omwana chama asebodi y'ekiombe gya KRA ayega onspiniga chire ngaki Simon Kangwana amona Ryan Ijendi Malulu ba etu eira eyumurayi wense abalierete igoro yoguchikoba amabaga yekerogo kyobo mabaga yemirimo kwanye bagochigutigirira umurwaniriri wekerogo kyobo bungesemo ya Malava Simon Korende David Ndakwa ekibano murayi wense anya abeirga gwikirani gose aikiranirie eire yo buna abetega kumuliera mura abaraya bwo baberetu yango turaliria ase enkwane yabo bagokwanira ayaiga.
Kwa niaba yangu, familia yangu na jamii nzima ya Malava natoa shukrani za moyoni kwa heshima hii kuu. Kutoka mwalimu darasani hadi mkuu wa shule ya upili na sasa kuhutumu taifa letu katika uwakilishi wa kimataifa. Safari yangu inaakisi uongozi wa Mheshimiwa Rais kuwa kila Mkenya kwa bidii na imani anaweza kuinuka na kufika mbali. Ninaahidi kutekeleza kikamilifu agenda ya rais wetu, agenda ya bottom up economic transformation agenda ambayo hata inaakisia kubadilisha Kenya katika viwango vya kuwa first world country, kuimarisha ushirikiano wa kielimu ndani ya Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki na kuchangia nafasi ya Kenya inayositi kupanda ndani ya Umoja wa Afrika na majukwaa ya kimataifa. Mheshimiwa Rais, nakipokea kituo hiki kwa uaminifu, kwa utiifu na kwa kujitolea kamili kwa maono unayoongoza kwa taifa letu.
Ningependa kuchukua nafasi hii kumshukuru rais wetu wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, Daktari William Ruto, pamoja na viongozi wote wakiongozwa na Mheshimiwa Spika wetu, pamoja na Mheshimiwa wetu, Mheshimiwa Wetangula na Bwana Prime Cabinet Secretary wetu kwa ile kazi wamefanya mzuri kwa kunipatia kazi ya kushughulika na mambo ya ushuru, ambayo nachukua fursa hii kwa kusema asante na kuhakikishia kwamba kazi hiyo, kwa sababu ya ushuru, kazi ya ushuru inafanya kwa nchi yetu ya kuleta maendeleo, nitahakikisha kwamba mambo yote imekuwa sawa. Na pia ningependa kuchukua nafasi hii kwa kushukuru familia yangu na watu wote wa Malava kwa kusimama na mimi kwa wakati huu na pia kwa kuniombea ambapo naanza safari ya kusimamia na kushiriki katika ushuru wa Jamhuri ya Kenya.
I want to take this opportunity to thank the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Dr. William Samuel Ruto. I also wish to convey my appreciation to His Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi. Also, not without failing to mention the Speaker of the National Assembly, Speaker Moses Wetangula, CS Oparanya, for the combined effort to ensuring that your son and this young man, Ryan, manages to get a slot after having tried his bit in the Malava by-election. As I assume this role of a trade attaché in the Republic of South Africa, I promise to work diligently. I promise to put the interest of Kenya first. And
Aya vatikene no bochorio bokebura akoreka ne tikoria nkyo muraibwe kiama kia Wiper Patriotic Front Kalonzo Musyoka nigo aorokirio kuyena kwa emono kurwensemo ekwamiriria serikali asuguchikonyoro bubwi ensemo yebunge ya Magarini kago kwana nabararia nigo aruro kubolia guchia se kiombegeterete obochori ne chimbebe koenekia na obochori buri bubwasio kuno bwene ngokorekana buri abwo ritiko liankyo
hapa Magarini sisi tunatarajia ushindi kwa mlengo wetu wa one term, mlengo wetu wa ukombozi Kenya. Hii ni wakati wa kukomboa nchi yetu kutokana na uongozi mbaya wa serikali ya Bwana William Ruto. Kwa wanaelewa sana Nimepata hadithi moja ya ajabu hapa. Kina mama wa eneo bunge la Magarini walichanga pesa kidogo wao wenyewe, zile ambao wengine wanakuja kuwaonga nazo. Wakachukua hizo pesa wakampelekea candidate, mtoto hii unahitaji. Hiyo spirit ya ukombozi. Spirit ya ukombozi. Kwa hivyo hatutarajii wizi hapa mara ya pili. Wakenya hawatarajii wizi mara ya pili Magarini. Na nitarudia, Wakenya hawatarajii wizi mara ya pili hapa Magarini ama mahala popote pale. Kwa hivyo jukumu lililo kubwa sana ni IEBC, tume mpya hii. Tume mpya ambayo zote tuelewa vile iliwekwa mamlakani. Sasa the lowest rated public institution kwa upande wa wananchi kutoamini ni tume ya IEBC. Kwa hivyo mna jukumu kubwa sana nyinyi, chairman na wenzako. Jukumu kubwa. Msipofanya this one correctly, hakuna atawaamini kwamba mnaweza kujumuika na Wakenya in 2027. Kwa hivyo hapa the bar has been set very high for you. You either make it and get it correct, ama nyinyi nyote tutasema murudi mwende nyumbani. Wakenya watakataa mambo yenu. Wakikataa mambo yenu, Wakenya wamekataa. Kwa hivyo this is what the message you wanted to make today. Mimi nimekuwa hapa tangu jana na wiki jana nilikuwa hapa. Viongozi wengine najua hapa kumezukwa wamezuru watu wa Magarini, mmepata watu wamewazuru, wamekuja kuzuru nchi yenu. Wengi mawaziri kinyume na matarajio na express provision ya katiba kwamba wewe ukiwa public officer upasi kuingilia mambo ya campaign. Hapa ni wazi, wengine wanakuja wanatoa matusi juu yetu sisi because we are telling the country the truth. Na ukombozi pia unakuja kwa sehemu nyingine kama Mombasa. Ukombozi uko njiani. Watu wamekaliwa kimambavu, kiwizi. Kuletewa hata madawa ya kulevya ndio wawe kama zombies. Tunawajua. Wakati ukombozi wa Kenya wa eneo lote la pwani na hasa Mombasa, ukombozi unakaribia.
Bia mono mwancho murigereria asogochora getaseni ge Ensoko TV oburoso bwo mugusina gwikiraga buno tukuragenda umutimo komoke ase enseme ntangana ensemo ya kabire nero rastra chikukwanira amange na mono ayabwatikani no bochori boke burakolekane ritukoliankyo na boigo aliagendera tukuru ase county ya Nyamira na boigo ni county chinde imense ya itu ya Kenya na mono ase ensemo elio kworigereria magendero guse uchumi era Ensoko TV oburoso bwo mugusi tobare negetaseni kiao.
Eye Ensoko TV oboroso bw'umugusi
asokoria gokogokia kogosemia nabo igo gukomanya ali akorekanire kurwa chinsemo chia Kenya
kurwa sensemo ya siasa chisemi obonchoreria amaganio ali akubwatira no bugimba bwa botambe bwa mwanya bantu ogonzuko batogosanga asensemo yeringana rieke moya mwanchu murigeria koria komanya mangana yeke gusi abego chingencho chae
umerana na inche Frida Kerubo
na inche Clinton Ondigi
tokomanye asemesa ya mangana maya ali akorekanire kurwa ase chinsemecho kera litukoria Jumatano enseyamo ya Mogoroba na boigo chinsa isato. Eye Ensoko TV oboroso bwomugusi
ebagotebang'o yogose komwelio nero gose kabia maiga yokonyora mang'ana mange korwa segeteseni kiao segetegia Ensoko TV bonigo yaikirenga kingo koreta ng'anya sai nigo ndakoretero murobiri korkunga amegerio yebebelia
umurobiri nigo ndayorete amuna basomba banyasaye abu astra ko batukwegera ringana sobwagare nantari yoka nonyora matera noena masabo noborori ntunyare ko ba tukurwa ayankira rituko rye sabato rye abandi bagotabanga Jumamos abandi batabanga Saturday chinsa komirebere chamambia uweka chinsa ibere tomocha gekora nchumurisho ngaga n'abasomba banyasaye ntokoretere umurubiri bw'eleson seseni
omwancho mulire bwa Ensoko TV igeta sengi Ensoko TV ibwatira senge nchao
kokoretera amangana amaya
ayatabwati gwanchero ko rwonsi kurime yagusi na isuko yagusi
to kubekera tene ni anyare ko bakawateka
atabwati gwanchire bonda bwensi
korwa se ebunge ya kitutu chache South Meye County ya Kisii elietari anen Caroline Mausa
korwe county ya Nyamira elietari Nyarike Steven Embonde
korwa se county ya Kisii elietari ane Wycliffe Orenge
mera na inche Dominic Onderi Nyabuto ekenanya gukoreta amangana amaya ko ritukira Jumatatu paka ritukira Jumapili
chini gongoro perpetual machin na nyora Etorobini ya Ensoko TV oboroso bomogusi
mwancho muligereri Ensoko TV egeta sena mbeyemo aseliro baliagusi aiga no mugusi yakwa iguribaga na konyara ko baga gotegereru ase chinse 24 asa matuko atanabera seiki mwancho muligererie Ensoko TV nechikobwata ase chi county cheto ibere chiagusi ekse county ya Nyamira na county ya Kisii ase njira yoboikeranu na nene mono ntonyare ko batoko genda ase bali bali chinsemo chire isiko yagusi ase chinsemo buna chiana kuru mwancho muligereri elitonyara ko batoko wa umugusi ora sensemo ya nakuru libaga elianyara ko bakoigwegwa na nene mono ntonyare ko batoko so ase chinsemo Childoret no mugusi ore ase chinsemo Childoret nyara ko bakoigwegwa mwancho muligereri ntonyare ko batoko genda ase bali barasa masamba buna chinsemo chia molo aliaso mugusi yale emuletie tonyare ko batoko ireke gusioro no mugusi anyare ko bagakoigwegwa asenchera enkeranu chinsemo chia Mombasa ntonyare ko batoko ikoro nelio mugusi nere anyare ko bagakoigwegwa asenchera enkeranu aiga omwancho muligereri asegeta seni ya Ensoko TV no gotuchi ko batoko kora eke igekuru gyeito tonyare ko batoge kora asenchera bwenerete mwancho muligereri aiga ntokoreri bina nekera obwato muchando wasiririo yo mino mwancho muligereri tonyare ko batogo koraleria okorali kwanya gosira asenchera bwenerete Ensoko TV oboroso bwomugusi
Tomo chago tengere merobere ito yogosemia na gukumenya yago korekana kira rituko nabariki baitu be andrete chinga ki chance asengencho yao eariganie asobo tengari botari no mubwekano Eye ni Ensoko TV oboroso bumugusi onye kubwateri iborio obosemia gusekero kende gyonsigoro yemeroberi itu y'Ensoko TV twakeresimi ase namba 0788666663 gose tulikereri uko rye email ensokotv.ke@gmail.com boigo nabugo tutarira service ite gutuka samagacho hazina towers egoroba ya gatanu narimo asumucyo munene Nairobi Ensoko TV oboroso womugusi magega ya television ya Ensoko gwikasero yawo kwanyoribaga ligi yaliyokuralia asegete sena mbeyemo imena isiko yeliroba liyagusi onye kubwato kuralia bokwenyulia ogukwa gose okubonchuria bono nabokonyolibaga lyabene liyokuralia asegete senieke asoliguri liyakibusani tulikere gose twakere simigwitere namba yaito yobonchuria 0788666662 Eye ni Ensoko TV oboroso bumugusi
Karibu nainde mwancho mwiriri emambia boro chida kikane merongenene ye moigure chinsenji chiabono mambia cha Afrika ya muchensemo ya kabiri Etorobini ase okomurekera aliagendere toko kolekana ime na isiko yensi yetu ya Kenya na monokuru ase county cheito emyaka yega guchakira mwaka oriwe chilifu ibere na 13 gwikira rero iga na raliaya akolekanire na raliaya amaya ine obokora libulia gose kolengana nikirengekene ne county chekero chiare guchakiwa niko kiarenge na no koreto bokorari ange no mwananchi lakini asense mwende kero koliereria siasa nereraro magendero narakolekanire amange naragendere tokolekana aina turachukwanira emambia bono asubwagare na baadaye tuchigoswa asugukwanira asubwagare goro yobochorio bokebora kolekane abo litukulinka asige kaiga ekienge kiaringi campaign amanga kolekanire amange arorekanire nabo iga amange aene kiwe nabono nenga kieri bono inseji chinsa chinka chitigate kurbono tuguchigoswa sense meria yerigesa oria osimegete bya basi enga kiaye yo kogesa bono ngo ikere nerigesa elio na nkiola gitutarekeraga abo nganchire mambia bono nyari nkwariania omogeni temambia bono oyo tuguchigosanga amonere emambia eyega kurwa ase orogongo rwaito rwagusi karibu sana emambia ya bono.
Thank you so much.
Na kire byokwani mwancho mulireri asugo tumanyina nga yo ibere nga yo rwete na inde ekerokeria to chake nkwani yaito emambia bono no nyene lieta liago bene.
Okay. Biamana sana Ishmael. Njaza maleta ngoro ku Samuel. Aondo yo mumanyi kuru Nyamira County. Kitutu Masaba Leo Ward Mongoneri Village. Sitere go ikiriro ngo ya rorega uske uchime asini ni otaraika mongoni asagoro kwetangi wa ikreseto. Yeah.
Biamana emambia bono ase ogwanchirana osugo itabirana gwikaime Ensoko TV elitinyare gukwanira abere atatuiga emambia bono ekerokeria tuguchakase enkwane yetu mwancho murireria nabo tumeke namba ya mawasiliano ere noti 5 ne mumara gatano omwerio beka isateke tuguchaka enkwana yega ase enchira ere ya bene Samuel ekero tuguchaka enkwane yetemambia ya bono county okuru ne county ya Nyamira nande nurucha ya agendere tokokolekana na gwikira boni ga mu governor we county ya Nyamira amonsinyaribo igoronkwa chikure kura yage tugali aba MCA merongebere na batatu bagake kura yo kumurusia bisi mu governor we county ya Nyamira kera toko chakiraga abo asubwange yorengane yega engima yo kumurusia bisi mu governor we county ya Nyamira amonsinyaribo enyore yegane ntunda ya gatatu tali ntangane tali ya kabere ere ntunda ya gatatu bono ayayiga agokorekana ayano mumenyo Nyamira tetrara chakiraga abo engane yegana kiekwirite
litangane ngokwanya mwanya getinge waka ngageritenga chinse chiyo abantu babokire they about their businesses nande ego ogosaba kwana nkulinga ekerato konyora ibintu bikolekanta senjire ndonge no muntu agosoka ko endega asiae yamanyete nga no nuburayi mbokoleteki mbochoka ine so ende asiri swali kwa bolia onde tukuchase Nyamira County enga kio mwali twa enga egantu okwane tenga na nenga watebinga ki Nyamira County as a whole is a mistake.
Yani no muchando no bokong ingingo watebelinga no bokong ekero ruche eyasi kelige eyasi akamo kiagondire nande nakikeri go fo totebenga nande nakiki arenge ke ekene naze biasi bindo oroje kero kiagondire no kumanya ngebindu byose byakoreka now the thing aki muchando tobwate no bole ububura yasi Nyamira County chintunde chisatu tiango dabinga bantu mbago MCAs mbago janga batete kuimbichi governor ngazinge nje batamutagiti. That is not the reason. A reason ni linga ki burai nyali botabuati burai completely. He is not a leader. Yani nabengo muntu rusiri urosana getaga agaterekererwa so burai asegenda tanyare ko handle complete. No ndi ya okay handle ase miake ya beire igoisukurigeri igabwatete enusu ya nyagarama akayereta baka nando nyodje enusu ya nane ngokora guchi. Yeba.
There is nothing. Umwana omuntu nuru nochakara kwa rure kizi county yani ekero goikire mokene na aliugocha you can feel environment tofauti
no nyene mbeo ngegochi
yani koranga kwa ruesi kwa genda yani umenya Nyamira county akola karamuna ka sub county kete akatauni kete ka Kisii county. Do you know 2013 goja all top officials ba Nyamira ba menyete Kisii county. They work in Nyamira county wala ndakomenya Kisii county.
Nigacholi ni county ya Nyamira lakini asabe kete biashara akabeko
mochi asako biashara byo pia okora ini kamwe leo tatekoleta Nyamira.
No nyene bango ya yenye ni
akonyakane county ya Kisii. That's one quarter Nyamira is a complete mistake. Umojando monene. Up to now bona yani ngoto up to now. Abantu abange bakolega Nyamira county ngayibameta. Staying in Kisii county. What does that show you? We are not ready to develop our county. We are not ready completely. Right kurubura. No ndito kwatobura yobu yabuli structured. Amagenda ta say county yetu. Tubwata barai right kurwe governor, deputy governor, senator, MPs to MCAs. Na bakoli responsible. Utango ntubwate muchando yoro chibona ya. Yeah. So we go into a mistake tubwate menene no borai. Kisii county tebo getia Kenya buniri. It's about leadership ya very na chad. Inke no nyeme chando kere meke lakini tenga muna Nyamira county mechandero. It's about it.
Okay, tutara chakole mura gochime mono ase county ya Nyamira and of course ntuchiko ya kwanira asobugare abuni go twa chakira ali asogo chuti kidogo ase ngencho abuno iboire abuno okurwa aino muntu weri go makitutu masaba aino muntu gwengoko.
Yeah, ndino muntu bwa.
Okay, ase kara chokoligereria uchakira mwaka wechi 2013 gwikira boni ge myaka toko bara kuri serikali chige nkachi ya City county ne myaka mingi sana. Liboli litanga ni tokorara bora ni ge mambia bono ndirina ekirenga kelichi county. Chiaro seretiwe ekerenge kigagie ikeraniwe nyona tutaraso ase county ya Nyamira county gwatene 40 na isano na ibire ekerenga keri county echiga chiaro seretiwe na koleto bokoreri ange no mo Kenya kerenge kigagie ikeraniwe
ayonda tebe nga tali ase krase asenare kerenge of course teraba 100% wekerana nkora 100% bari asenare chi county chinde chi kirogoranga they are somewhere at least ba kolili bintu gite and do you know sometimes you go to yeah take about a fight between national government and county government who does what ngo koleke utali ko koleke so kwali from the side the Ministry of Health thing rotated back and forth to about during 2013 but actually almost 2022 still the battle up to now umojando wealth is still Ogajo education still the same. So otherwise, no nyendri to implement devolution 100%. Odangu we are not here where we are. Tango ndrugu kwa na mangana to kwa na lero. Lakini asinge njo yoko musana na ze government ya nene neji government ya county to anyodrenga omochando beira singe njo implementation tera ikerana uzama ebintu bibi atakere ko kolekana mbira kolekana fully una bia takere okolekana asenge njo yoko musanana so nanda senge njo ya siasa ya ito buna kenyere necha yae siasa ya ito ya gelerenga ginko for example any ya ko devolved completely kregento kiara ni korwe county maybe the president will in power ta konyoro musulia wene to gutwara so ibintu binde baka pulu abikole bwega ale kanenge lietali ya nero koreki nero kokora so ono politics ya gelerenga ibintu binde even the implementation ya our county devolution as a whole tera kolekana kulingana buna ya takere kokolekana uyo muchando tu atwalide so ize kunyarikana ntu bwata for example oyo minto Raila Odinga o totigere if na eto for example to benga na eto libaga liyoko implement this idea ya devolution maybe at least we feeling the atmosphere could have been different utangonto bwata a change gete maybe kulingana na yarenga invision kulingana na
kubomo chakara muri
script yarenga utango things are not the same. That is mojando tu anyona tonde no linga a government ya sorted 2013 after inauguration ya a constitution ya ito ya 2010 abantu ba sorted they were not for that constitution umojando no muchakira tawo mbalenge for that constitution so egara balenge for that constitution batalenge for that constitution
yani bali ko yamba
lakini gaeta so bakamana ko jone party embe una Saitania kale badiem bagacha na basoete chingu basoete in power. So there's nothing we could expect much from them as a constitution ba obongo bwabo bwabo as a constitution yenkoro. So bakarani constitution yenkoro as a constitution bakayeburukani bono muchanganyiko kaba up to now bono ndo irana to in line to what the constitution says bono as all these three governments baki yaso irega still ndo bwado mujanda no ndire ko implemented fully na gotabe utango bono ikantu bwate flow utange bintu mbibwato mochoko utango no evolution yetu gukwana ni bwato mochoko yali hatu recent yubu tyokubu yangaki at least ndo je bintu byachakire up to now we are not focused to that constitution. The evolution is actually partly working, but na ndebono siasa ya nye affected ya in short.
So it. So
Lord, I give you an example bono bune nkwane bono mna nyamira yetu na kisi. If uzo kuligalia karongo imbe governor lero number 1 muzo ko minto ta ko chande. Emumuro minto ta ko chande. Abasani bane bali esako yana. Asenyo matakoru. Abayiri bonse. Na yebuno musani ngokurusiana ne ngobeke no communication direct office of the governor. Talingo was for example ende tanda ngota. Akitali for example ngumuntu afite tikobo asengenjo nanyole opportunity ni. And I want abantu bane nkubeka bagonza around asengenjo engoza nanyo nabo bale sako yanene yo okoreki you go protect. To we know rumuchando to Nyamira County specifically Nyamira County ni linga uzikuliye ligento uzikuliye li osome the 5 key aspects tigerete 5 actually tigerete uyunda ku imbijigu 3 times that time yaba tasa excessive. I thank those MCAs baikere
na ndoko boko
ingo boko 100%. 100% ingo boko ngaki imbuya mono tiganya saba seseni cause number 1 lazima tola rusi umuchando liyo mwana to mayuti ni mechande meke
kana labwaterera gabo tutarachiko genda gucakorigereria egatiama mochari omugabara akobonibwa ti county kigekero kigocha ekiachite omo wakilishi wabangina naro omo senator naro omugabara naro naba MCA mbarororo yatorara chakira sense moya aba MCA miremere baganirwa kwa remene no you oversight
ya
na korigereria na kyo bokora libo omugabara na kiboro bokora kwe county na kibole na kereke mukirike gokorekana singe chomo MCA na yarora ange no mwana inchi ine aba MCA barabwo tutarachaka kubunia abagabana kwanza tutarachaka ko runse aba MCA bakorire miremo yabo boikirana
ingizeko chaka yongo kwana from where the experience is ase bali manyete korunka where you come from ndete ko role ngane na ta tenga emechande menene tubuate as a county to say specifically county to Nyamira no borai inki kigera to buate umochando borai. I want to give you an example. Ekeroko and a county Asia. I want to give you an example county Asia. A county Asia. And names most MCAs are doctors. MCAs.
Abanyagitari.
Yini abantu basoma baka doctorate umuntu Dr. Sam, Dr. Ishmael, those are the people bali abuna bwabarai bali
yabana
umuntu osomete umanyite inkyu oborai ninki yani the whole of Sia account as an example. I was there and I saw no nyene minister chiabo county executives. You can feel na abana abantu bali dedicated to kore umadaka ro ikiro mo Ishmael ro ikiro waso amire ro ikiro asegete doctorate yani obo ikaria so obwenete ku protect itali ya umono goetane no nyine yento kali okora eli itali yao. So because that
yani togane ti onde gwensi agwake ubi na sami lero gwatokana neri mochogete gentugete gyakonolire chiskando gete bintu gete bibere bitatu iga
inde kito woikire level yebinde byo tata iti ubi yego kuno but mono ndeto uligeri Nyamira County. I start from where even I come from.
Rigo
Mawad. That's where I come from. In the mistake we did is just choosing a party, not choosing a leader. UPA ne ya Matiang'i, UPA ne ya Matiang'i. We ended up yani tukabisa tukigimererie kiama tukatika
kuigereria kiama kiomo gusii kigucha
gutwegerera igora. We didn't know lakini kiama gitukurwanira umuntu uri bucio gaiga ugovai kirugiki umuntu ainaki na what leadership qualities completely the word is one of the people musirana is one of the people bali bangete go participate as ko impeach nyali
asini jero monyene no mubwata niwe kiama kia UPA ta ko ganie boss yae
ta ko nyara ko impeach boss yae yani taringa boss yae ta ko tia makosa tata itiko soku bolinga mbagete chikura bakabu because it
ekera moche komera no chikobori wana nayo kwete kontomanga
tata kontomanga na era kwanza chairman ye party ya UPA so inkinde to whatever asengencho obore ububurayi bwitu nande ndete kubekera abana inchi amagoza manene sana ekero to gukorobo chori nturi kuisaranza otukwa nunu mwana unyarebe uyuga ni kiame kali uyuga ali associated uyuga bagutara na Matiang'i uyuga bagutara na Ruto yani tu associate abantu abayiga collectively tuamana gochora iginte yani tuachore ndugutuka amagungu
yebana
no amabanjore tuachora instead tuatira the right people abaraya bali bare gocha kogera tusukibuni ward tusukibuni county because if no nyanto chora tumurayo muyakorwe ase ward that means igoroga ali tuasali nyalibo na jabe angel cannot measure komeke bintu right no to amwete a very wrong person from the ground that is the mistake to akoleta in short Nyamira it cuts across board. It cuts kerasi. We did not choose our leaders right. We only went kuligereria nga oyo nga associated nere.
Asengani iyo kerogotebana especially asorongo rwa gusi nyatari gusi yoka Kenya kiujumla ekera tukoliro barayo mayatego kerwa chaka county okwera baka ensemo ya group yo barayi wegoro ekero ukolire chinseme yiga yobo chori nabo igasa barayi bago chorwa whatever na nigo toko abantu nigo bago chorwa kolengana na kindo mosani na kindo mwairi na kinko manyete na kinde omora na kitomanya ine asogwinge lakini asenseme ene gukwira na especially asorongo rwa gusi boni ganoro chikirikigendera tena konye aetulia se sabari yokubwate si Daktari Fred Matiang'i manyana omwaka w'echili fubira 2025 ekiago bonae kiaerire so ayo manyana sema ya gwatebire na elire limocholi nene na sense mwende mwena ere na ki kwa yetori gosiro mwana itugweri roba esabari yago bono aetuli oyo moito abo bona arola kigo chekiaba at the same time na sense mwende ere na ki tugoche waka siasa tugochombe komo basoigoro onganekere kurumambia paka saa 8 nigo ngotegererete buno murai alafu ngokora ngendo muno ebesa nero ngochire aswaime ukoigwa naki oyo no muntu bwenchara igano amaragiro no ari moina ayetubu ati musori bas oyo niga bwato musori one bitebi naki tugucha tuwa bibikirani byamanya korosyo burayi umusori no ri moina ogaiga asense moyende na inde kwaje tugosiro mwana itorende bas ayebono rende noro oyo ito
tuli amana inde omwana omuntu ande tiango tebi omochando ndo tokwana gutwara bona ya Matiang'i monda yo mwangete Matiang'i monda yo mwangete
wakanire
imuko mwanga no nyeru to tokona kolera kera lituko abantu bonzimba mwangete tabwati abai
nabwata abai
kiro mondo nabwata abai inkinde to gukwana raga nda to for example kia barai ba surrounded almost form the 6th na agro the 6th Fred Matiang'i. The people surrounding Fred Matiang'i, they are the same people who are surrounded during RACS. Do you know? Do you know there are people who suffered omugusi abantu mbere bawumiete asoburayi wa Fred Matiang'i omwaka bakoigurire bitabu they will be even people who are in the civil servant Do you know the time where abasuguzi baitu bata bete promoted mono is during Matiang'i's tenure.
Bachi tuko kinwa biro.
I'm telling you, no Facebook, whoever these handles, social media handles, whoever or saw the victim, they will write here and you will be surprised. Nduriko kana, ekebene yitu. Madiangi no yitu. But the truth, as I can agree, there is somewhere to akorete to a thing. There is somewhere, even to be a jeta, Matiang performed exemplary well.
Emerimero na
100%. But we suffered as Amakokai, Bunomugusi. And I can promise you today, Matiang will be the president. If God allows, he will be the president. The most people are going to go suffer, the community that is going to suffer, the community Yomugusi.
Aseke.
Mono, we are going to suffer. Asengenjo, Matiangi is one person. Okobanga kingoro kinga igondi ingegeme to umuguzi mono kubwaba abantu. People, other communities will benefit than us. That one I assure you 100%. Intuna to miguwa lakini zi communities. Why do I say that? It's because of the experience Kekeigo embodied during his time. I don't want to pinpoint and say 1, 2, 3 things. But abantu boka banyana bagotebi mbarebaambige during the time yangotebi ngumwana uminto bono igante to kwana nuju abasigizi na babwato oborai. But you mwaka some 10 years ago, from 5 years ago, nkwari kubanyana none town Nairobi ga. Lakini lero for the first time in my history na akanire gali litaligacha liyo muzikisi uchiaze mbenyote for the first time. Why am I telling you? Abantu bakuru kwa bayikoyo n'abantu bakuru kwa abasikisi umwaka, they know what is leadership, they know what is power, they have tested, they know the sweetness. Bama yetogosera no bwanzu bwoborai. But bono ntweka rutu abwato borai ubu. Bokeyo, do you know Matiang'i abantu bakumupingira abange gusi? Do you know why? The problem nelinga, when he was in power, he empowered. Don't tell me any individual according to example I muna ateba. Lakini abantu baito balengi in position. Do you know there's a time caps to about ngwa na rolling common, but yegara said to Matiang'i did not say anything. I can name abantu abange wocho. He did not say anything. Yari kunyarikana na abayiko y'umuntu uzwa asegete uzunabagare abantu bali kwandamana haki yao day in day out. Every omuguzi yuru seti wekerugo during his time he never spoke. He never spoke. No, I see it from here and I go in jam supporting him.
Okay.
But the point in ringa abanta bangi imbanyo lete a lot of the low deal.
Toira na bono asense meli bono libono lyalinge burungena ebesa nerega alafu asense moye ndene lina konye tuli gusiro yo iga bas aikia ukialira
ebesa rongo talira ogosera ngose na ndo ogosera uko ngori kujikoera ni zu tali mambi ngori kujikoera
yeba
ogosera uko na kukwagerire bono iga tuachore tabarai batali abaronga sichinga kiejo ndiyo matera bonko bomurai na bonko ntabo murai orero lakini mambia I can fit because 2027 na bonta abo murai but 2032 na bakonyora I'm the best candidate asekero ukiriyo yo isaranse tera
asenye nchumo buko
asenye nchumo biyo buko kusa asenye nchumo na kongire kabongo uburai bwana bono bwakoreki na nje na asombire tiango tabinga emugusi yuitu I think into watu muchando bugo tasoma the political terrain bono iga bono tukukwanira iga ebesa buna bono iga ebesa yatali tazi by election chitu chiani niga na ndebesa jinkwendere ku influence the best leader ole gosoka kurugali umurai uri wocha kotokonya to asenge beza ya atalire asenge tutaisarance tutumie obongo bwitu asogochora barai bono tu atumire besiri aso amubuko nere gochora. That is the mistake that is going inkogendera atambe na nkogerere to chandeke for another many years coming. Why? Because we have prioritized inki kwanganari keli kwanganari na kiyoko yako barango koreki ngochole na ndize kunyarikana, you know, we will be surprised
asomo no rubega swere ba tena mkono mtupu
awulambi wana ko bako kutabwa atikene utabwa atibo ko montara amene abantu. That is where leadership is. Asenge njumura yumwe turiko morra sebesa enga kinere baba ati moke buya zakali ale gotebanga umumurumuya tariki umurumuya nenkoro so burayu buya mwana wasoka por mubuko uyise kunyarika n'umuntu gukora just because asenge nje yuburayi agogobora. That means you can don't get abisete. No, no, kumanya is smiling and umuyande. You cannot bribe me. Mbumuyaso. That means there is something I'm hiding from you. Over you go talk over. Again to over chabumbole to bisete, over chabumbole to talk bisani chibes. Anywhere, anywhere, over Serakoli, over you go correct.
Okay.
Monta abisete again to get. He go chago. Pakaira niya besa ya getting a key. Ekara nyori kero number 1. That's why utanga nyale bere otari kubwata simiane bunenga kinere arenge tu arekolera ayo minto simbe anto bagachaka ngasimba leo otari kubwata simba leo otari kubwata simba leo inki wata takole every time ekara kualenga message neba asote every time ekara kualenga message you want something. Paka naone ngakiri hata tete kwa you sit there you wanted something inki expected yakala ekara ikire ngakiri nere wekanga kina chiti ganda umubere pole.
All right. Ekero tugucha kuligiria obokoreri bwaita si county cheito tubwate chi sector mbalimbali tubwate chi semi tubwate obochenu tubwate chi para makori aganiri kurbugwa nabo oboigo no bokoreri bogoche gwetera soko bwatera na kumo governor na ba MCA erikwene kina ebigabyo sio kwa kadasa sema yo mosereta era no kogenda iguraria arwane rebesa eche ase e county ekero togote for example gwakwanire county ya Nyamira na kene nkyo kigenda tokorekana ogenda obucheno ogenda chisemi ogende nyone chipara kera kemo nigo geteneine what environment uno kure county ya Kisii uno gwika Nyamira iga nigo konyorana environment ni go change automatically now ebe sango sokere agenda se omu MCA kara tigara sense mu yomo governor ebe salene nkwanda barali barose budget bakora budget estimates yamanyikana na ase ward yeri goma ebe sani era chikogenda ase ward ye maybe ne chimilion ya 30 echokora gento gete chikogenda sigeta koreke neke ebe se yega ngokorere mirimo totara bekiro mu governor limocho olioganire kogenda korosigaki Ensoko no mu MCA go chali atabana buna moko ngekero gekeiga Ensoko eri karasegete na arorira abangina baitu nigo bakogenda ruche gaki bakubugorie ebibuyu nigo bagwetwe gaki Ensoko ni nche mbaroseri ebese yasoka ngayigo chiagenda rende paka Ensoko nero no mugabana uganire ache kunyigora rende
bono doise gukunerawo abono no tokonyoro bare mu bunge abono imechandiri
yabono
ekero nkuligere mono tiankunere ward yana
rigo ma
ward again I'm familiar with it. It's like back of my hands. Omwana minto when you have omuntu mochorete and or a pity greedy ole obwate yani
obweyanchi no
obonyiche
atakete kuyigo kwanza
to expect magenda obuntu mburoko nyora bwakoliru obuntu tu nonye naye muraombera none bichana matabenga ki akamura bwato bukombe bugoli gechiko rere epare enini yabaka toyirubule baka mweno. We used to do that during that time. Toko enda iga gusine kanza tu tabenga kiri kuri lingulira bitole baka likoreke lironge igezunte kyabe umuntu arakonyora gwaka nonye nini kiranya kurumaega so twakorego ebintu biruboire gali nubo para just goiti chiweza ize kobanga it's real development umwana umuntu nonye naye nuwita aya numuralia nuwita you can feeling something is done here but yekero tukukwanira amangana ya magendero as a county yaitu gusichi ward chitu I'm telling you this is a big problem to what in Nyamira County. I don't know Gizi County is our neighbor. Nabora nyole lakini thikaro tu inenka umwana umuntu uraibuitu mbura ikake wango keli where development comes first. Yanya umuraya begetenga amagenderero naro yentege tangania sabantu bane bali represent. That is why totally kunyara we differentiate between a politician and a leader. I think bono iga abantu tubwate they are more political than gutwara burayi mbuyo ime yabo uburayi bakwegiye karaba isaranzirekero they try kweginga nabarayi bono tole because your position yikwa ugere yomburayi so lazima bwegi lakini they are purely politicians. That's where muchantoba igasa magendero asichu word chito umano minto magendero asichu word wito is nothing happening is you look at noniti para chito no unabantu they can write to you on those social media they will tell you yani never yes of course even tombire bikolire bibiri bitatu but they are not what they chibesa chirikolire chigosoka which as any eight uzokuli Likizi County I saw the other time I think it was it last week or what muna chibesa nchire cha Simba ga distribute every ward kwanda kwa abantu baguchaka ngakibo basiye konyora one ward basiyoka za constituency yabo that 21 ward I think something like you 21
I think choma ite what chiwadi sana na isatu
chiwadi sana
chinyinge mono
so number one also na rumuntu madaguri the population where
na benge county ya Kiambu umanye tere nene kerokolire bese gochende county ya Kiambu county ya Nairobi abako mochikorana bese inigere igora kekero kubekani nonya ne county ya Kisii
so yabone kare bintu biye kiriko mara kwa chakire kwa siasa ime twaleta siasa ime where ibintu right bikokoraki ibintu biye boronge bwana tokokoro but coming to the question nelinga oborai boitu bwabeire obole to an extent where nonye nebese litoko won turiko nyakolera bunita kire gokoro but tokokora asengenjo yacha tubise obobeso bondo botigale tuchake go zibere chiwanga ase bali baguziba bazibere I'm telling you
okay
do you know there is an MCA mwana minto omwa MCA okonyot omotaro bolio obe omotaro abantu bamubuguli koro I don't want to say the name and from Nyamira County
omanyekaine karabwaterera igo chideka ni komirenye gore chinsa isaro chebono mambi Ensoko TV oburuso bo mugusiye ekerekeria tokoga no mutimo komokega gose togosiomeri chiduka alafu kurwabwo ntoirane nabo gotogendera gukwanira amangera bwo chikolirerie kati ya mamuchalia agera to mugabara we county ya Nyamira aguchia kurusiwa abisi toskare kurase TV yawo
Eye Ensoko TV Oboroso bumugusi Chinchira chito chigekoro nigo chirasoko goselwa konene gosiriwa ne chinchira chekerero ekira kikiagire Ensoko TV twachire gutura igisako ky'omugusi kurwa soko rimera asendiba y'abanyandwariro
oboroso bw'omugusi bwegekirwe omugusi bono n'ekinjira kyago goikaransanse nakobeka etibi yago kwene king'angwa esomi ore gikoro ky'omugusi
wetero murobiryo bw'igikoro byaitu hasi tokomera n'abaga kabasamwerere n'aboiga bamwe n'abanyika erigo kwanira okwebogia chindagira amasikani chinyangi n'emejega ao y'omugusi
kera rituko ria ramisi chinsa ibere igoro imeye TV yao na mbeye Ensoko TV
na Stephen Nyarike Mbunde tolende ekimira
eye Ensoko TV oboroso bw'omugusi
Yegoro yeito imeye Ensoko Ensoko Yegoro yeito imeye Ensoko Ensoko ibyengia yagire ngumanga bunalero
asoko lya okogokia kogosemia nabo igogo komanya ali akolekanire kurwa chinsemo cha Kenya
kurwa sensemo ya siasa chisemi obonchoreria amaganio ali akubwatira n'obugimba bwa botambe bwa mwanya bantu bagonze ko batogosanga asensemo yeringana lye kemoya mwanchu murigeria kolia komanya mangana yeke gusi abego chingencho chae
umerana na inche Frida Kerubo
na inche Clinton Ondigi
tokomanye asemesa ya mangana maya ali akolekanire kurwa asechinsemecho kera litukoria Jumatano enseyamo ya Mogoroba na boigo chinsa isato eye Ensoko TV oboroso bw'omugusi
omukubyo neritwo abagenwa abange kurwa chikansa bakumirana na komotogia omonene wetira amatera amansu ibibungo naboigo amarandia imegata seni Ensoko TV tuchikumirana kera litko ria Jumapili jakira chinsa 12 cha mambia weka chinsa inye zinyare komotogia munguru naboigo komoterera nanche Deana Ndemo imegata seni Ensoko TV
Mungu amefanya ni Mungu amefanya sio mimi ni Mungu ametenda ni Mungu ametenda sio mimi ni Mungu amefanya ni Mungu amefanya hivi nilivyo mimi Mungu amefanya sio mimi
mwanchu muligereri Ensoko TV egeta sena mbeyemo aseliro baliagusi aiga no mugusi yakwa iguribaga na kunyara kwabaga gotegereru ase chinse 24 asa matuko atanabera seiki mwanchu muligereri Ensoko TV nechikobwata ase chi county cheto ibere chiagusi ekse county ya Nyamira na county ya Kisii ase njira yoboikeranu na nene mono ntonyara kwabatoko genda ase bali chinse mo chire isiko yagusi sichinsemo bunaichia Nakuru mwanchu muligereri elitonyara kwa batoko omugusi ora sensemo ya Nakuru libaga elianyara kwa koigwegwa na ndemono ntonyara kwa batoko so asichinsemo Childoret no mugusi ora asichinsemo Childoret neranyara kwa koigwegwa mwanchu muligereri ntonyara kwa batoko genda asibali barasa masamba unachinsemo Chiamolo aliaso mugusi yale enuletie tonyara kwa batoko ireke gusi oro no mugusi anyara kwa koigwegwa asenchera enkeranu chinsemo chia Mombasa ntonyara kwa batoko ikoro nelio mugusi nere anyara kwa gakoigwa asenchera enkeranu aiga omwanchu muligereri asegeta seni Ensoko TV no gotochi kwa batoko kora ege korugeito tonyara kwa batoko kora asenchera bwenerete mwanchu muligereri aiga ntokoreri bina nekera obwato muchando wasiririo yo mino mwanchu muligereri tonyara kwa batoko korareria okorari kwa nyagosira asenchera bwenerete Ensoko TV oboroso bw'omugusi
obulimira bw'essiro y'obunda bwense kulenge tali nchirende yonsira krobulimi obiyoke enyorera libaga lya bene kwaegwa migerio chisemi nobosemia igoro y'obulimi bwekerero n'echikolinga
ase obolimi bochete skuru nobotigi bokumerwa mache
tebone ng'ombe bune yengiya
ngale konyana eyinsimegete nterangete amaraba ekonete konya kukina yo kamaraba konya kuyana nganya kwama buya
beka chibuti imokio bokombe to semogondo bweli nebisumwime na pathway machine
kire sukure jumaine chinsa ni bere chamura goba wika chinsa isato asomuro bere oberemi nobotugi ekero ture semia mange kura saberemi chini gongoro ka petrol machin
asomuro bere oberemi nobotugi ime Ensoko TV oboroso bw'omugusi. Eye n'Ensoko TV oboroso bw'omugusi.
Karibu naende mwanchu muligeria sense moyende ya gatatu mambia boro kerukeria tukunya gukwanira igoro yo bokorari ase county chete mambia ya bono kerukeria tukwira nerere nkwana yeta stwari gukwanira no chaka kuligeria aria stwa tigera igoro yigati ebintu biria mugabana we county ya Nyamira Musinyaribo akuboniwa ibibono kolengana nawe MC bagoteba ebintu ebigekero kubirigeria mbisa ine kumutuma kasingencho ochire mamincha nabo igo tarabwati no nyene katiba yensi yetu ya Kenya ilikuwa nikino burayi bwaye ko babole oboikiranu nabo igo bokorera bwaye guchese county ya Nyamira ikati bintu biria bikumutumaka nkwabiriri goche number 1 no kogenda mamincha no bokoreri bwaye gusema mincha ne obisi yo mugabana bunaganiri gokora bukwera ni magegake oinyure oyo lengo monogeri bwebunge ye county area ya Nyamira oyo lengo ororo boni gatari obisi oyo ororo entadiasa nyabana ne ororo at the same time kwa ruche musana nere yalenga iga bunge mashinane nere yalenga ororo nabo igo mtu watu one bunge bono borongea moinoga I don't know no korwa mashinani elina kimwa sistemo ka JCB iga moka energy na bono tiatira ne bona ase bunge county ya Nyamira boronge senaki kimwa nero
na tutayesibia the court declared it illegal.
Lakini na wotokomera na bado sitting room gatora aranywe cha na nyo kwa nini ndio bado
aso gumera na muna batuletia bagaka bekenyoro kwanda kugamba mangana yobora yekenyoro everyone is entitled tafwa lakini ebikaro biri they court declared them illegal. They have no yani bibu ati polito wonde bwens just account. That's why also collegially aba MCA abande abo gisesa babe licha nominated Algeria and others abaiga mbali bale asege karokiria no kukero bado they believe ingege karokiabo na kigere yake ene ase
Nyamira county gwate nominated 16
I think something like
16 because bali bachole boronge bale meronge
biri na abande is
and of course into gwate mabagata to ayare vacant
yeah. So ayona auju kufiri itukolia mambi ase chikora chiko wako mambi ingine thogote ege karokeli is an I think the court declared it unconstitutional illegal completely. Whatever they are doing there is null and void. Ingekuwa adibuli tobondo bwezi ingekuwa influence ingekuwa influence na wanyene impeachment yeye because number 1 abaiga bege kaleke na bali kwa roje list ya ba MCA bali batagetekura na babiri betunga moina na bali na Nyabaro is a duly elected speaker
Nero Robis nane
arora se chinyumba jiri je account je bunge ya Nyamira abayiga bano bakara matabeka ni mahate bako na kugwana nga still ngamba mabwato bolitazi Nyamira county those are noises no jibune ebi yoto biri ko na kubuga roje mbia na kwa lakini ngombe boje hanywa maji yako like yagenda. So that is egine yente kamo kelikegara tenyali bako ba impeached cause is the one supporting ebunge mashinani ebikale bya okero na babo gisesa na babelija Nairobi obi supported they are unconstitutional, so they are not the county yani in short ebunge tera be recognized as almost Kenya but recognized but in Nyaribere because they are supporting, that's why they did not vote, because they are supporting it. I think there is an argument in the Senate na any kale na bro bimbe speaker and no care You will hear
that.
You know, you will leave it to lawyers because they know best.
Yeah,
but the constitution, the law is the law. Ere kuna chama konyara kulichenjiri kwa no muzumeno
motwe na
magega yendonge to discuss about that. That was illegal. The court declared it. It's not allowed in the beyond ba ko kuja bikaro beyond proposals and other things that there is nothing that holds waters.
To swali mo chanamba ibere
limo chanamba ibere nyalibo neri nacholete umunini wa agriculture mu minister executive mu Swati agruku is it Orok. I think ebikare biga na bibi acholete against yani ochole abantu abango
umusiyogo tajori kikatiba aita se bunge ye county aba vetted
as bakache wetigo aina ara magoza nana magoza neringa abantu mbara nyali bali gete aitemeremo lakini budget yabo takolodiki etayo so that is like they are tolerate
kwenye budget teyo umushahara waronkoli bale
they are getting some
okay enda kiro mutienyo genda aliyo matenya sia pesa
yasoka ngaiji pesa chichiko that means chibese chiga bakachibe echi divert chiga sukukorwa ensemo maybe a development y'ebintu gete abana inchi go samari yo gonya gitari abana inchi ba egere umuntu gitabe comfortable aragere agende gune gari atware security akole what yani abantu bachandegete bati abantu bandi mbale illegally employed
bakuri umushara igobone minute na umushara w'umuntu yo iga nigo gosoka wetera sente kuna executive order yani no mugabara watabana ki ayetera shara gose muntu finance moino tumokora se payroll ye yuga buga mo make sure na oinaroro
do you know touching kubwata nene do you know na a payroll ya Nyamira County no gende bona goje sabe na bira akobole
payo
is no payroll. I'm telling you that is the accusation.
To umuntu take access
bona munayo murali ogoenda gale ngange payroll ministry ni department ya public works ige abantu bali kiri nabo abanyare bana ro monene goje idi a simple thing a reasons because ibintu mbire bibisire maiga there's a lot of
bona lero igera tokana na labda baikase bunge ria senate nkorarorore esabu na kiya koba.
Do you know they have always used a fake? That's the accusation here. They have used a fake. Yogolimo.
Okay.
Yeah. So na basabara still na baikole tu eli yogolimo. But you might ekenengero. Do you know that the assembly now the speaker, the bloggers who are going to represent the assembly, they have facts on the table. So there is nothing. You know the Senate it's going to follow the. Did we follow the process? You were not a Kumoin Beach. Is these 5 agendas all aspects in Chirichoko in Beach governor? They are watertight. Bolibueke yana boko koraki boko beke gavana enze
ngwako na limo chana bwani elia
gatatu ni lio kochora lio ko employee abantu e budget ya beta kolati that means a budget chibaza chikuruzu kuruwa segete atamanyiri anjena ayo tamanyidi chiacha waka na banda because they are working, they are there every day chira chabo ngofere kuchire nande zinko enda baleji maybe
nonyine chi allowance because kerole ase serikali igemerete nonyine allowance yago nero eba mache besti bebe nyumba ebenya gitari kerekemo namba inye namba isano
bono ina gote bia ya Paris Oroko was appointed illegally. That is another accusation. And the yakabere eringa oyonde failed to appoint board chiko man chichiko tenera a municipality. The reasons why they were appointed it's just no ways around so we ne karamu negata na appoint Ishmael nero kwanda kobe echi amani ye municipality ya Nyamira akonyo no ne body kon why is it not appointed?
tumanyana no nyene basike gusangirirwa abantu bari baire responsibility
erizo nerili naze nyenje bintu bikuna gwetu kugurumaga ese abantu aba ba appointed ibintu ko babire structured. The moment ibintu ko structured tari ko genda konyora ubukuma buri yako nyora buri bwo gweta mayaga ye tenti onyora buri ko enda gweta that because there is a channel board, there is a board kwenda kubeka ibintu streamline ibintu what so he has to make sure na whoever nkubeka aras mangende maybe ngisaranze nere the boarding but the main objective mo kwenda gukora hali neke basincolonize basinkinere amanye kubachora. That has taken a longer time. That's why the assembly is asking why is he not appointing, because ekineka ramu nege neri sakara period story
libo liregali nendirina konye body ye gateyo ekoriye lyamangane ye municipality ase county ya Nyamira. Now obokora lyoborende nyone nebese usangire tokora twamanya for accountability purposes inankikendre tokolekana.
There is no accountability in Nyamira county.
Asengi nchobwana no bwasi yoku ekunege ntikigani iriye korolekana
bwana na bwasi yoku mboyo Nyamira county asengi njino ndio bwana no bwasi yoku le Nyamira county you could have seen ebintu bigenderereka you could have seen onyana magenderereka ebintu biko ebintu biko kwaru. Do you know, I give you an example. As much as tokuna go fight ndero ko example kere practical. As much as tokuna go fight ngaki house levy what president Dr. William Ruto are you seeing chinyomba chikwagaje turikora chinyomba chiagaje. I was some time back I was in Mombasa chinyomba chiagaje abantu bagodi kwanza ni shoti abande bamenyere. You know, as much as tokuna kufight ibintu binde bikoreke mbiga
industrial park nere yagani iriko bekwa Sironga.
That's how it relevant. It is nothing.
Tugada selimo cheliria ya gatano na boy gukorera kuri SSMU.
So ntokwana yasa mangana ya illegal payroll audit, employing senior staffs without following the due process. Egitwa kwanira eni niende egento kende to kwanira ngeringa twakwanira mangana ye board the municipality no kochoru kuoroko we na bunge la wananchi mashinani you aso kerale are part of yenini egento twalo kwanira ngeringa the misuse of office, the power conferred as a governor. Yani inozinga ere trojina na executive wono manyire ala vando omega
nero mochaka no nero mo
ambilig asemesek. Do you know, I don't want to use ringana liko, but noche muntu oli orotu. In short, our governor arotu. Yani zo kumulije diandara kubuli. Itu ko kiriyo moyali kwa cover story ya governor ningi akoleta. Yani in short bono to ara tigabi story kwa cover ye governor latest when was it
etwara revento bigo koleka
hapa na pale lakini not latest yani latest tengo danga ki naone wiki mwa kwa wiki yake mwa kwa ni impeachment. That means there's nothing going on in Kisii yani Nyamira county. If you have not covered anything, that means there's nothing going on in Nyamira county.
Okay, asense moyende ase okerokoliria asense moyoboraya oboraya oboge bogoche wetera soko bwatera una twateba mu MCA ntubwate omo senator ntubwate buwakilishi bwabangina ntubwate nyono mokonyo asi county chinde nkora rolena no nyino mokonyi bo mugabana sinara gocha ocha ime okonya osira kwa mororera ara asigete mokonyo
Gesami
nga yo mokonyo inonga yale
Dr. Gesami no ali. But missing in action. Why? I want to give you an example. Elijah of Kisii County. You see that man everywhere. You see that man everywhere.
Lero South Muganga, lero Basi, lero Bumachoge, Borabu.
I news, Jano, or about does no, they are commissionary to kill him. But he's all over. Why? All over. It's because Simbarat has given him a responsibility.
Nero irwe mere mago.
Irwe mere mago kora. into say to the time kwa roje maybe kwa roje be nya gesami maybe asamatanga gete kuse nyangi gete not in development nini forum uzegi county it of ordinary. Do you know you can work together but you are not friends? It because that is what Nyamira County na kekere. There is no time Nyamira County ama governor na oyonde bana go isaranza to coalesce ideas. Kubwata ni birengere libyabo go se birengere libiripe bwata bya bana inji egere bi colleagues towards okonyo mwana inji. It has never happened. Nyaribo was mistreated in the previous government as arenga debut. Anywhere. He has done the same thing, a replica, the same thing as a Gesami. You will never Gesami as well Morena Matanga go say because taramwa a responsibility. Simbarati kisi county gana wale neighbors na adebo na bantu be community don't akwane authoritative na you can prove ne ringa ki oroli the capability chiumu muntu kurukwe deputy governor yayo obebo. He has given him a responsibility na aibono kinde moina na ayakoreke. There is a system you can work. There is a system that is working. But when we come to Nyamira County, there is no system. Even the system governor yoga, even the system yoga could work. So nakira work as a deputy governor. There is nowhere. So obobe escalatory. One maybe a difference itabuti yabo, chitabuti tiabo a governor nini chiage mwana inchi is not getting the service. Atakolete atabwene te ko konyora.
Okay.
So that is umuchando to bwate gabo.
Ekara to chuokolera emambia bono ndo chile kacheto chitigerete gabo ni se chile kikaikome mambia bono. Bono ekebarua kenene niko getigareta se ebungeria sereta asengecho ekera kiria kore kanetegero gya kore kanire igetambo kero gya kabire no mono gerwe bunge county ya Nyamira Thaddeus nere bono okana na report area aje kobe aini shwena gusaine kine yaikire bono baka se bunge area ya senator ne senate twararire muntu nabakore tworora mamocho nabako batana babawika 10 mbali twarire bachire abande mbali bawika nande bayiranigwa ekebarua kenene niko getigarete ase ebunge area ya senator kolengana naye Uruche ne round yeye. Ogotobwa nkoro gose na ndino kwira naka.
Aiga no. Dida tugo prime but no da to da bangiringa. Amagos oyo mindu nyali ba wiki. Na amagos abwata maiso na ndali abwata evidence. I will be surprised. No nyali boga kwira na kobe governor again. I will be surprised. Cause no kumio konene yani aike Nairobi ga sasa nanda ira nemuni governor. I will be shocked. Of course nende shock sinjiro rajiraje. Ande tuweza kamsova na boto tu ata tunga siasa tuanyibeke ama ando kuibeke nkoro zingenje tu abaso tu ara attack. Anything can happen. But according to me, according maybe that are accused na misuse of office and other things, I can tell you again nyalibo kuira na kwaya no gokongu no esana dieli manyete eli rali manyete. I think kuira na kwaya na bukora abakoko
ya tara atigera gabo asense me senate tuganye na tole na aria ya gochago kolekana litukoli an Christian Cameron Gebere na isano na ibro bochorio bokengo kolekana buri ministry ya Kenya tubwate chinse mu chibunge abuneria Magarini Malava Busia ito tubwate Enyansiongo tubwate Kerenyo tubwate Nyamai abochori ngokolekana buri litukoli an kyo na gwikira boniga okweroberi gwaito goso okweroberi gwa serikali gwetere kyombekeria IEBC kwariga nyobochori oboiga kwarata aratarire kwa raya yako nya kolekana chikampeni cha kolekana ngwate bana enibo yatarire sana abantu bagandira taweto masana okwiyariga ni gweito nabwo kyujumula gakwanira igoro yobochori bura kolekana litukoli yankyo asinchira yobwinge kwana yagonereri sengana yawo
obochori ogusaba kwana nkulinga obochori bobubwekena andi butwara umurobeli ntutayitukuna gutwara ne scenario ne nara usinga na into tuikire twatwalire etabiye jine ipaje tuguchaka korwana ngoko bumuntu abegete yanga ya UDA do you know my age guzi I think etabinire tokuna konyora erengeni
yani ababwata nibekia makende bagocha bacha kumerana na abandi bekia makende sinye yacha akakorolekana kimbi yacha na raze gedeiga I think asege oso tali oso renge I think in united opposition na and united opposition I think ozenya maya akamwana geteka gacha kabegete t-shirt ya UDA bakamubo it was opposition bago bale ko campaign lyo yonde Chris akamwana akagacha karaguma mwana is innocent ere tamanyeti
ere yanga abegete jaja akaja karamo labegete yanga UDA bakamuwe bakamotareke what did that show iya orogatinga ki tolerance obwanchani oyo kale side yende ya mwinoga why to fight we are all brothers nabato gutwara ibirenge yita it doesn't meaning about go to abere enemies but no nyabona no to kwisaranza kaya nabato gutwara ibirenge yita about but it doesn't mean we are not friends or we cannot debate so ingenda ndakota abantu ba UDA as Nyamira say to Nakisi county as a by election why gese kero muntu dige express omaide mojano no royo oyo to bwata that is why we have associated a aspirant kuchi as a party to an extent where one ndruko anda konyora murai we are going to choose UDA we are going to choose UPA we are going to PDP ya magara igara nyansiongo PDP ya magara UPA gere nini nyamaya na neke nini
Akarenya.
Is it Akarenya award? Yeah. Nero, I think is UP award.
Yeah, bana. Nero na odiamu. Nekiamba kiodiamu na kero.
Na kero kinkero.
Yeah, bana.
So abanda ababonzi bi abanda na abaitoma no abaibwire Nyamira. Lakini elinga ki the beliefs are different. Why can't we sit down and tochora umurai? Ingi totauza tochora umurai. Tadi umada bana na tochora UP na tochora Chris. Tutavenga for example to ajori Chris Nyamaya Chris ne matiangaro obonga ni bwa matianga kana utumia
no bwa yero mo
no bwa yero mune musire na ro choli
matianga tena abantu bainga ibamigire
matianga is out of the picture yari is out of the picture giza sa chairman ye but is out of the picture is him komanyanga ki needs chairman
bali bako mokolere campaign Astayo bakoro
kana nere bweka oiwe responsibility so tumanyanga ki whatever we are doing abaraito kwenda kochora mambe we are giving them a responsibility abana abantu bakwenda ko take up a responsibility you bakolegas kose gotwa bachora sengenjo tutaite kwa matiangi buzuku
neli boli
diango boli inki etobout neli kwa matiangi buzuku cho the right lead I don't see. We chose the leader. We got to watch our Murai, you little Nero when it has Tinga Cage. So, Omojana to one Ojora, we are going to go to Matiang. We are not going to go to a leader. Nani, Naruto Tagoja,
Yani no Tiamana.
I know what Naruto Tagoja, na UDA, I reckon Oiga, Ivuruto, no new chili. Nando George Umondo, Kuoli, Yamagiaruto, Nano, no Beiro, or Umurai, Navo, to think or Umurai, talk on Ojora. Why not? Omojano no Rongo, having a key. Nyamira County is a mistake. Nande Omochando no Rogerete to Buatobo, Uburai as in Nyamira County. As saying, we looked at the party. Tokalige linge pati ene yomusi tokachora ubi ende wasitu anyore to kendo kele yonstu anyore to no emboli yare koba emboli ebekire bichembo emboli still as nje pati moto wakore to we should not yani ndo to stay with that low let us choose to chore abarai bali babuenete koba njidinde teliko yera ego yera na no you deal so no you UP so no you what have we chose umurai olitwa bwana tekutwara sichinga kichi that is the only way but to endera ni mistake iri na ndo kwenda kokoranga na tu associated the UPA na Matiang'i we have a mistake bona ga we are impeaching a governor UPA is the majority. I think majority in Nyamira County was the majority.
Biamono mwancho morigere chira ikabondo che chitigarete cheitondo che na chiaeri na kero tugwenya gukwanira boye gukorera emambia bono insi chira kikando cha buninye choka tubwate kurabwo tumeke kurase ekero geke gasiasa ya Nyamira ndochira ya bitrense sana ingana nera iga botambo konyorana ekerege ke gukorekana ase binyoro bita stokurwa labda tiga be komo bwekano amangana yecha enkorana ke bona asiachite ego tokana na egente ke go chekara machibu achire na libono umuraya gwesokia kwa manyore gari goro kwa manyora ase kanisa kera iruli kondo leo chagotebe na bone serikali yeye mwatumigire lakini engakieria aganiri kubwate ngani abwati ngani yiga guchakira umuchaka no gwikomwere nakina amanyana labre bonase gosegento gita magendero na kiare gocha ekerege tekiga bono giachire gusama chigu achire aliyo konyoro muraya gutwara chinguru bono gukwana no inoro muchando monene ogendrete asubra ibweito nyone na sinsemo chiri chikurwa ekega nigo tokugetumika mona sensemo yecha bona sinchira yacha ko rabara yabange nigo besoki sana bagachaka gukwana lakini engakieria baganiri bakorekeria baganiri bakora abange komo chikorekana na mbari kororekana
Ishmael amano omuntu tubwata barayi bakwehusia they take advantage yes situation igete bataka kororekana nga barabono babiri bamura bamwabo Yesu
egintu kirikiri current
na kibakubuguri politician yagu pick kilimuna akanyora iga kliniki yagu changa kibatokolera ngakitoko kwepona
igo chakire kwa yoni
ochakire kwana mwana but when before that okwara kumanyora gotero ngao pona siete tai asenye njama etinge kine kigendo kibeteta abana inji bona agukwa yani abana siyaza bago chora mangana ali abana inji batagete koiwa tali ali abona tagokorwa ali abana inji babona toko naro bakwenda bachora that's why konyora babwate chiroti ikenyuru gali bamanye kirigendo kimanye do you know ngumura na ora gotebinga ora baza gotebi no neke moni ya kwete baragete eba epikipiki yake reason abwate chiroti bakona komotebinga ngento kete kyabira asigete muntu nasire ta asigete
etorobini nere
kumuleka asigete they take that advantage umuntu mana koyero umana gukwana amangana ali muwende ko mwata banga uyoyena Yesu Kristo ayigabona tuwabweni umuchandu yu igoli gusiya ito asengenjo abaguziba minto uzabanyamira in specific twanchire kuibulimo wole coated bubekire sukari twamene sukari lakini imeningi inke no bulimo boka potika tora twamene ile sukari bakabona iga toikira asete obo bisire toikira ase bono Nyamira yetu is not moving completely.
All right,
is not moving egento to bwene to gukora tigato soke equal go out there smell the coffee to make sure ngaki induri ko choro umurayi asengenjo yekini otuo choro umurayi asengenjo yenkoro yae ninjira akogenda gotokorera gas tari asengenjo matianya kwana tari asengenjo ruta kwana tari asengenjo simba kwana osenyali bakwana otuo choro umurayi because uine rumurayi twarana no yubwenga kina nero kwanda gotokonya.
All right,
yeah.
Biamano mwanchomo ligereria ekamera yago ne elia elikire namba isato ekirukeria tugukorera emambia bono ase enkwana yaito okoya inse ya dakika ya moiga ase okuru enkwana yago yo mwerio na ngakiende na inento nyora libaga bintu ne binga mangana na mange agendere tokolekana na boigara chikokolekana na boigo trachikonyora chinga kikuya kwanira ase obwaga ligukwanira mu gusino mo Kenya ki jumla wetira ase kamera ere namba isato engana yago yo mwerio mambia bono
abantu baminto nande na torili bageriga kuba kirambu ya mana sengencho batagarili bwaino nagani asengencho ya mangana akaramambya naronda kwanere asomwa yali bona ya nelinga tiganya sae atoraya zilitukulia mambi tochora abarai tali asengenjara associated na inje gosazi chipa elections chons bichire bosi yoga yazilitukulia mambi tigato chora abarai baitu talingangi tuaseretu bati imorai kitutagete because yo wasero witu kwalero na gogo koleta matatiza mambia uburai witu bwale ogochoro witu kwalero na gogo koleta emeruberio gusama gendero yase kenyurugi itu gusase to menyete igongi kinda togoteba gaki intelete muisaransa morengereri inga tali mondo no moko abusuku but umurai mutagite gochora asengencho yoburai mutagite use mwabolirwo umurai ase amatuko amange tiganya saba konye ase nande baka ngakiende toromerane tiganya sa tokonye egere to make it county chitu usase to as to ire responsibility abaga yakubwabuna arenge karatwanya nyarta. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
Miamara mwancho moriri asoko chora Ensoko TV boroso bo mugusi we kiraboni gana inde asoko bwati umurubiri yo chakira chinsainye cha bono mami go kiraboni gana inde kerekeria to wika omwerio ase ayitu abire to kwanira ase area ankyo naro neri tuko engakieri obo chori obo kebra chigo kolekana ase chiwodi au na wega ase chibunge chiria obo chori obo gani iko kolekana naro ntuchiko ya molekera asubwagare na monokuru ase county osekuru ase orogongo rweto rwagusi abasaki baito mbabensemo ya nyama ya mbabensemo ya nyansiongo mbabensemo area ya kerenyo iri kubwatia nara ryaya arachiko korekana kere dakika kere sekunde amatokeo kerukiria turachiko taramo ase sabari yega amonayo mwanchumo area iri gukomanya kikendere toko korekana iri gukomanyana nara ryaya arachiko korekana aragendere guika ensa useda kikerio mwerio ekera machibu na matokeo arachie korarigwa ne kiumbe kerigete ntobo chori ni chimbe bimensetu ya Kenya kiumbe kerikia IEBC na wikiraga bo mwanchumo ligere na tuwikira mwerio na baadaye ayande amange na chigucha gusana chigucha na mono ensa eyemo osikinsa isano nebere cha bono mubaso asama ya Ensoko TV una agendera tekwariganyo kurase ensemo area ende ya kabire twara oborigeri ubya bwo gendera kubwatie mirobire ende yatigire ase litko lyarera wike lyankyo litariane Ishmael Mogere.
Eye Ensoko TV uboroso bw'umugusi magega ya televishoni Ensoko gwikasero yawo kwanyoriribaga ligi yaliyokuraria asegete sena mbeyemo imena isiko yeriroba liyagusi onye kubwa tukuraria gukwenyuria ogukwa gose okubonchuria bono nabokonyoribaga lyabene liyokuraria asegete senieke asoliguri liyakibusani turikere gose twakresimigwetire namba yaito yobonchuria 0788666662. Ebagote bango gose komwelio nero gose kabuya maiga yokonyora mangana mange korwa segete senikia osigete Ensoko TV boni go yakirenga kingo koleta nganya sai nigonda koletero murobili kurkunga amegelio yebebelia murobili nigonda olete amuna basomba banya sai abu astra ko batukwegera lingana sobwagale nantalia yoka nonyora matera noena masabo noboroli ntunyale koba tokorwa ayankira lituko lye sabato lya bande bagotabanga Jumamos abande batabanga Saturday chinsa 12 chamambia uweka chinsa ibere tomocha gekora nchomulisyo ngaga nabasomba banyesaye ntokoletere umurubiri bweleso seseni.
Mwancho muri Ensoko TV
igeta sen Ensoko TV ibwatira sengenje yawo
kokoletera amangana amaya
ayatabwati gwanchere ko rwansi korime yagusina isiko yagusi
to kubekera tene ni anyarre ko bakawateka
atabwati gwanchere monda bwansi
korwa se ebunge ya kitutu cha South Meye County ya Kisii elietariane Caroline Maosa.
Kurwe kaunti ya Nyamira rietera Nyarige Steven Embonde.
Kurwase kaunti ya Kisii ireteriane Wycliffe Orenge.
Mera na inche Dominic Onderi Nyabuto ekeranya gukoreta amangana amagiye ko ruri tukira Jumatatu paka ruri tukira Jumapili.
Chini gongoro perpetual machine na nyora Etorobini Ensoko TV oboroso bomugusi.
Amaruni gagendrete gutose mwana boire bukia. Tali Yesu sera ekegonko esukari lisabeso ukurasa kwa manyinga yani blood pressure ninki turakore wetanga kuruwa sare nyorali chibu asomurobelyo bubugima nobo chenu asora bego kumeni wanabanyegitari bamarwire ao nabo yabamanyi bande bayatunge tyobo chenu kumurikira marwire nobo wenia nyoro murobelyo bubugima nobo chenu na Caroline Mausa kirali tukule Jumatatu chinsa ibiri shabutuko ime Ensoko TV oboroso umugusi. Obulimira bwesiro yobunda bwense kulende tali nchirende onsira krobulimi obiyoke enyoreri bagalia bene kwaegwa megelyo chisemi nobosemya igiri obulimi bwekerero nechikolinga
asobolimi bochete skuru nobotigi bokumerwa mache
tebone ng'ombe bune yengiya
gaja konyana eyinsimegete nterangete maraba ekonete konya gukina yo kamaraba konya kuyana nganya kwama buya
beka chibuti imokyo bokombe to semogondo bweli nebisumwime na pathway machine
kile tsukuri ya Jumaine chinsa ni bere chamurago ba weka chinsa isato asomorobere oberemi nobotugi ekero turesemia mange kura saberemi chini gongoro kwa petrol machine
asomorobere boberemi nobotugi ime Ensoko TV oboroso bwumugusi ubugima norugendo rubwa tamange amaya namabe Omusa Kitolinet Nyambane niga ngaririe imena isiko ya gusi na gusanga naba yaeteire nabaku yaetera
Nchekera na ibole twe undango terwa ndabona ibole tukinde buya ngakina kinde buya ekera na chiko ikemya kasta ngachaka ndifero po ngoira samago wani kamanya gutokanga na twali roba ona wacha gitego
aya nime yo murobelyo bumwenori kirali tukule Jumatano chinsa ibiri chabutuko ime Ensoko TV oboroso bumugusi
kera kama tingatara ngaiketa oni ya Nyamira na lena shauri sangwe ngararo moijana
Muligeri bwa Ensoko TV oyo no murobelio bwokongolia mareko na inje mwana mboka Edwin Yang'au turabe tukumira na kira litukulie iki guchakera chinsa 10 chamogoroba wikenseyemo ya butuko kugwakorire mirimo yawo yerituko kwabukire orosete uikaransitero ya ubwe andaji tasekerugo orambulete merondo kunya gusibero ngori na hali screen ni chingero chikoletwa na mwanambuka Edwin Yang'au ano to konyora chingero chionsi echiegita na chobenga kwa nubukano echiembegetere ndo gesongengo to amereria
Bakalia omoto yakabwatwa Bakalia omoto yakabwatwa amatukemeronge na gaika kabwatwa
Omukubyo neritwo abagenwa abange kurwa chikansa bakumirana na komotogia omonene wetera amatera amansu ibibungo naboigo amarandia imegata seni Ensoko TV tuchikumirana naye kera ritwo rya Jumapili jakira chinsa 12 chamambia weka chinsa inye zinyari komotogia munguru naboigo komoterera nanche Diana Ndemo imegata seni Ensoko TV.
Mungu amefanya ni Mungu amefanya sio mimi ni Mungu ametenda ni Mungu ametenda sio mimi ni Mungu amefanya ni Mungu amefanya hivi nilivyo mimi
ni Ensoko TV, uboroso bw'umugusi. Umuruburi kubwatya nabo kurigirirwa na kiro muntu. Ege ni Ensoko TV, uboroso bw'umugusi.
Nitu maze moto chake ego chakera kwene kinga naki amanyete nanya ko bakagusimike bimerie biga nayo mwanchu murigelia amabuli agonsi pi no chikonya akaba bokunyanyora nika. Karibu sana se studio.
Asante.
Umurobere nobo limenobo tugi.
Yes.
Manyu mwanchu murigelia guchiali ainingo na ndanda ke aiganga itule.
Asama lieta ngorukuniko tiso. Aigani gotora se farm ngorukunik tech seedlings farm. Iyo gotoka Makairo bogichora location